Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Russell Brunson. Welcome back to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. Today, I want to talk about finding your weaknesses and fortifying against them so you can be protected in all aspects of your business and your life.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing awesome today. We are less than 2 weeks away from Funnel Hacking Live as I'm recording this. In fact, I've been on Slide Smackdown, building out millions of slides, working on presentations, working on video. Like, there's so much that goes into this. It is crazy, but we're having a good time. And I think we'll make it to the finish line in time, as long as nothing bad happens. So there you go. Those of you who are listening to this in real time, you know that right now we're still in the middle of this whole COVID pandemic thing, and there's chaos, and there's a lot of things. And so, but as they say in show business, the show must go on, right? And so we are doing Funnel Hacking Live. We've got, I think, about 3,000 people coming live to the event. We got another 2,000 or 3,000 people streaming it live from home. And so, the party must go on. So we're excited. But at the same time, there's a lot of nervousness that comes around it too, right? For all the obvious reasons. And so I want to talk about just a principle that I've been thinking about and trying to practice specifically around this event with my health, but it ties into so many aspects of your life. There's a story in the scriptures where they talk about this war that's happening, right? And there's the not the village, but the city that's trying to protect themselves, right? They're in the city, and you look around the city, there's like these hills and these mounds, and there's mountains that kind of protecting them. But there's a couple spots in the mountain where there's it's easier for people to get through, right? So these weak spots where it's easier for an invading army could attack, because it's like these are the spots they would attack. And so the guy who's the general of this army is looking at that saying, okay, these are the weaknesses. Like, if someone's going to attack us, they're not going to come over the mountain. They're not going to they're going to come through this pass or this pass, and these are the spots that we're weak. Therefore, we know these are our weaknesses. We need to fortify against that. So they brought troops and armies and things around the weak spots to protect themselves. And that way, when the enemy came, they were able to protect themselves and protect their land, right? So there's there's the story, the scriptural story with the principle, right? Is finding your weak spots and fortifying against them. And so, so for me right now in this season is, again, I'm about to go to Funnel Hacking Live, and a ton of people, and if I get sick for whatever reason, like, it could be really, really bad, because you could do the math. How many tickets times how much money per ticket times all the things. It'd be really financially bad for the company. It would be bad because people have flights and hotels. Like, it would just be bad all around. So I need to make sure I'm there. And so the first thing I'm asking is, what are the potential things that would keep this from happening, right? What are the potential weaknesses that could take me out of play, right? And so I'm thinking about that. One of them is like, well, if I fly there publicly, I'm on a plane with 2,000 other people. Like, what if when I'm sick or whatever, and that's a scary thing. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out a different way to get there. So we decided to fly private, right? So there's one way we protect ourselves. Number two, it's like, I need to make sure my immune system's good, right? I have not had COVID yet. And so it's like, I haven't had it yet, but I got to make sure my immune system is protected. So what does that mean? Well, okay, what are the supplements I need to take? What are the vitamins? What are the things? We've had doctors coming over to do me IV drips, doing all sorts of stuff to strengthen my immunity so that I can handle it, right? I've been trying, which is hard for me. I'm trying to get more sleep. I'm trying to not stress. I'm trying to relax, all the things that typically will weaken someone's immune system, right? So I'm finding those things. I'm trying to fortify against them. Now, that doesn't mean, just like the story with the army, doesn't mean the army's not going to get through and attack them. Like, they might, right? And maybe the army breaks through and even though you fortified it, gets through, right? Like, I could still get sick. I could still have different issues. Like, there's a million things that could happen. But I know where the weaknesses are. Therefore, I should fortify against it, right? And try to protect myself. And so that's kind of the message. And so I want to share with you guys, because that's true in a lot of areas of life. Like, for example, I'm not obviously the health guy, but I would recommend for everyone knowing, again, the situation the world's in right now is like looking at your own health. Like where are my potential weaknesses? Do I need to lose weight? Do I need to get strength? Do I need to get more vitamins? Like, what are the things you need to personally do to protect yourself, right? I'd be looking at those things and how do you fortify against it? And for you, it could be different than me, right? Everyone's got different ways. And I'm not going to go, it's too politically charged to get into it, but if you believe that that the vaccine or whatever is the way to do it, then go that way. If you believe that healthy, like what, I don't care what it is, like pick what you personally believe, but then fortify yourself against it, right? Look at the stats, look at the studies, figure out what those things are, and then protect yourself, right? So there, I'll leave that there. Because again, it's ridiculous how charged this whole topic is, but it is. So I'm not going to say one way or the other what I believe or what I think you guys should believe, because I don't care. When all said and done, I think everyone should make decisions for themselves and figure out what's best for them and their family, but then go through it and like go intense on it. Like anyway. So then I want to transition to business, because you guys come here to learn business from me, not to learn health. So let's talk about business. So I want you to think about in your business, like what are the same things? Like everyone's got the same thing, right? There's weaknesses that you got to fortify against. Like I was thinking back the very first time that I was building my business, the very first collapse that I had was because I only had one traffic source. And so when that traffic source disappeared, my business disappeared as well, right? And so I went through the crash right then because I hadn't fortified that. If I had been smart, I would say, okay, look at my business. Where's the choke point? Like, what's the thing that I'm weak at? Okay, it is, I only have one traffic source. Therefore, I need to go there and fix that and strengthen it and like put those things around it to protect it, right? So that was the first time. The second time my business crashed is because I only had one merchant provider. And when that one merchant provider decided they didn't like my business, everything got shut down, right? And it was my choke point I hadn't fortified against. So as we started building ClickFunnels, we were very strategic. Like, hey, what are all the things that could happen? Like, what are the things that, that could make our business fall down? And we had to be very, talk about, very openly, because a lot of times we don't want to think about these kind of things, right? Because they don't sound good. But, one of it was like, what if Russell gets hit by a bus? What if Todd gets hit by a bus, right? What happens if our merch account shuts down? What happens if our autoresponders? What happens if our traffic dries up? What if Facebook's ads stop working? What? And we start thinking through all these different weaknesses, right? Just like the Army general was looking at, here in the mountains where people are going to attack us, right? Or me going to the event, like these are the things that would happen to make the event not happen, right? If I got sick or if these different things, so you're identifying, you're being very real, right? And you're having conversations that aren't fun to have. Like, Russell gets hit by a bus. That's not a fun conversation to have. Like, what do we do, right? But it's looking at those things, identifying them, and then saying, okay, how do we fortify against these weaknesses? Okay, what are the things? What are the things I need to do to make sure I'm protecting myself, right? Do I have a second merchant account in case I need it? Do I have, this? Do I have this? Looking at all the different pieces and having backup plans and having things in place, because it's crazy how fast things happen in this industry, in this business. I've seen so many people who have really good businesses who've lost them quickly because they didn't fortify, because they ran their whole business on Facebook ads and Facebook shut them down. They ran their whole business on SEO and they got slapped, right? And so it's finding what are the chokeholds in your business, and they're going to be different for everyone, right? Some of them might be you have a key employee who just runs everything. If that person disappeared, what would you do, right? Or a partner, or you, right? And so it's something that I don't know the answer to, but I want to raise the question, because I would be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't bring that up. So it's not running through your head because I didn't think about my traffic sources the first time I got slapped. I didn't think about my merchant account the second time I got slapped, right? I was looking at all the positive, because we're entrepreneurs. We're looking at the positive. We're looking at the vision. We're looking at the future. We're looking at these things that we think are going to be so great, right? And we're not looking at what if this happens, or what if this happens? We're optimists, right? And so everything's always going to work out. But the reality is, sometimes it doesn't. And if we're prepared for it and we fortified against it, we've got backup plans, we can move, we can shift, we can make those adjustments. But if you don't, that's when you get in trouble. And so I want to protect you guys. So that was the point of this podcast episode, is to protect yourself. The podcast cover image I'm using this time is me sitting at my desk with a whole bunch of IVs plugged into me, because I spent 7 hours yesterday with IVs of every known substance known to man going into my blood system to protect me and increase my immune system and to help me have the energy and all the different things, right? And so it's those kind of things that we're doing. It's funny. I actually was Instagramming yesterday as I was doing it, and I got tons of messages. People are you okay? Are you dying? Are you sick? What's happening? And I'm like, no, this is preventative, right? And it's funny because most of us, and this comes back to us as humans being pessimistic or optimistic, right? We're optimists. My dad sells insurance, or he did before he retired, but he sold insurance. And the insurance that they would get the biggest bonuses and rewards for was selling life insurance. And I talked to my dad about this, because life insurance you don't have to have, right? But it's the one that's the most important. But he said it was the hardest to sell, because no one wants to think think about that. Like, oh, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna be fine. And they push that out. So it's very, very difficult to sell life insurance. Yet it's the thing that's probably the most important of all of them, right? It's easy to sell car insurance, easy to sell house insurance, things like that. But the one that's like the most critical, it's hard to sell because people are all optimistic. Like, oh, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna be healthy. Oh, whatever it is, and they don't think about it. And then it hits, and it's too late. So same thing's true for us as entrepreneurs. We got to be thinking about those things and putting it in perspective. So with that said, prepare yourself, prepare your health, prepare your business, prepare your life, prepare your family. Like look at the things that could go wrong and start building strongholds around them. Hope this helps. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Secrets Podcast. Bye, everybody. Hey everybody, this is Russell again, and really quick, I just opened up a texting community, which means you can text me your questions, and right now I'm spending anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes every single day answering questions through text message to people who are on the podcast. And so I wanted you to stop everything you're doing, pull your phone out, and actually text me a message, okay? Now the phone number you need to text is 208-231-3797. Once again, it's 208-231-3797. When you text me, just say hello, and then what's going to happen is it'll add you to my phone, and then it'll send you back a message where you can add me to your phone, and then we can start having conversations. On top of that, through this texting community is where I'm going to be giving out free swag, giving away free copies of my book, let you know about book signings, about times I'm coming to your local area, and a whole bunch more. So I want to make sure you are on this list. On top of that, every single day I'm sending out my favorite quotes, my favorite frameworks, and things you can get for free only through my texting platform. So what you need to do right now is pull out your phone and text me at area code 208-231-3797. One more time, that's 208-231-3797. I can't wait to hear from you right now.